Hello, lovely listeners, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Get in a quick yawn. Uh,
Yeah.
so today we have death of opinions. Dun, dun. Ah, it's we're going through a lot of endings. The death of our perceptions, our opinions, what we thought were our truth, and yeah. And Jill had a very amazing experience just a little bit ago that really brought this up.
Yeah, we were going to go a whole nother direction. As a matter of fact, we were in the
Yep.
midst of going a whole nother direction when this very not so beautiful moth buggy thing entered my reality through my cat hunting it. And
Yes.
I had to cut off the call because I had to cut off the hunt and save this. Try to save anyway. I think I saved it. This I'll call it a bug, which I then took a picture and sent it to Kim. And I was like, my
Yeah.
opinion. I'm like, it's ugly. I'm like, no, it's not ugly. It just is. Like, I'm like, okay, my brain
Yep.
doesn't know how to not have an opinion about this. I'm gonna
Yep.
say it, ugly bug. I mean, he's ugly, but I'm struggling, Kim. How can I drop my opinion? Because it doesn't matter.
Right. And to him, probably from his viewpoint and his culture, I guess
It's
his
bug.
culture,
It's bug culture.
yep, he's probably beautiful.
Yeah, he's
And
like the top of the top.
yep, and we're over here judging him on how he looks. Shame on us.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's what's happening. We are the judgments or the perceptions that we have towards other people or other belief systems, um, that's all being stirred up, and it's actually like getting put in front of our face, and it's changing. There's a death there. There's a death of how we're viewing things. There's a death of what we think our truth is because we think that's ugly. No, no, that's not dying away. We got to make a different choice.
And that was actually, and it was our original topic was about our personal truth, our
Yeah.
truth, speaking our truths, and how we were saying that a lot of times when we speak our personal truths, there's actually very little truth in that. What's going on there? It's like just because we call it personal truth doesn't make it a truth at all. It's still
Yeah.
our perception, it's our opinion, it's what we think, it's what we believe. And we're arguing that stuff with people. We're arguing it with ourselves. Sometimes we're engaging things with people. We're sharing our, I'm going to quote it, personal truth with someone. And when in fact, what we're doing is we're putting fuel on a fire. And we
Yep.
now created a horrible disagreement with someone.
Exactly. And Jill and I could, if we think about that bug, we can argue, and I could literally tell her, no, that bug is beautiful. And you're like, no, it's ugly. I don't understand how you even think this is beautiful at all. And then I'm over here trying to tell her how I see it from my viewpoint, my perspective, my opinion, my truth. And you're just like, no. Like, it's kind of like the term agree to disagree,
Yeah,
but it more comes down to how is your opinion, how is your truth actually benefiting the situation? Is it
right.
actually creating peace, creating calm, or are you literally adding fuel to the fire?
And it's time for people to really start looking at, and when I say people, I'm talking, we need to start looking at, um, I'm trying to save a bug right now.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. I don't have a train of thought. He's moving and the cats are moving back in again.
I love this.
uh,
This is Jill's compassion. Everybody, you need to understand Jill has so much compassion for the life around her. Not only this bug, but people too. Like, if you want a compassionate person in your life, you need to have Jill in your life. Uh, she actually does see a lot of beauty and really listens to people's truth. And yeah, she's just amazing. So
mm, mm, mm.
That bug is like with the right person.
Thank you, Kim. And as I'm watching him, I mean, as I, my truth, I'm judging him as ugly, but at the same time, the more I step away from that, I'm like fascinated. He's just got the oddest body, wings. I don't know what it is. Um, and then you just watch it and just you can move into fascination with it rather than judgment
Yep.
and opinion and clouding our perceptions, where it's like, well, what does it matter? He is what he is, and like you said, he could be the best looking one of these. I'm thinking it might be some sort of a cicada. I'm really not sure, but that would be my guess. And in his or her world, they're like beautiful. And I'm starting to see some of the really cool things, the wings. There's a shimmery in the wings. Like, now that I'm looking past what I judged as ugly, there's some cool stuff. There's still some stuff that creeps me out.
Yep.
And he's going up against some pretty formidable cats, which I love cats. I love cats so much, and I really don't love their hunting instincts. I respect them.
Yep.
But wow. All right.
Yeah. It's, but we thought this bug might die. There's a death process, but in reality, here he's coming out of it with strength because he was shown compassion. So how can we show compassion to other people and allow them to actually thrive? And you're going to get the same thing back.
Right.
If you allow other people to give you compassion too.
Yep. Just go farther with it. Just go farther with perceptions, with judgments. And, the farther with it is to understand, like you said, there's another space we can go into with it. One of them is non-action. You told a story about that, Kim.
Yep.
Where you just didn't say something that was your truth. It was your personal truth, and you just didn't say it because you knew it was going to light up a fire, and you didn't want the fire. And that is a beautiful thing. That's that beyond, going into that next space. That's what this guy, like, here we are looking at him, trying to save him. He just had an experience to go into his next space, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. Exactly. If you sit there, yep, I could sit there and say all the things I want to push my truth onto another person and say what I want to make them possibly feel or for that I'm not validated or heard. Oh wow, this gets deep, you guys. What we're holding on to, and instead, I held back, and I asked in my head, how does this serve anything? Where is the outcome of this? What is your intention by saying this? And there was no good intention. It was just to prove a point. And how is that going to get anywhere? It's like that I had to learn a different style to communicate with that person, and I did. And it flowed very beautifully.
Yeah.
And both were honored.
To me, the keywords are to hold back. Hold back for a moment. Just hold back for a moment. I'm holding the cats back from this bug right now. And no, but I mean, really, and I have a lot to learn about this. I have a lot to learn about holding back. When something crosses my mind, I've been very compulsive, very impulsive, and I'm looking forward to holding back more and just pausing and giving a little more consideration to my perceptions, my judgments, and allowing more space to get into that beyond place, to get into that. Maybe this ugly bug is actually kind of fascinating.
Yep.
Which means in the end, this is very cool, because in the end, my memory with this will be, there was this ugliness to it that did freak me out initially, but there was also a fascination that came with it too. And that really changes the entire takeaway. So cool.
I love this.
All right, Kim.
Well, thank you to your cats for giving us a beautiful experience this morning. And to the bug to being present.
And to the bug, and to the ugly bug that Jill calls it. And to everyone for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Have a great day. And until next time.